Hey, friend. Friends. How many of us have them? And how many of us know how to be one? Let's stay around and talk about it a little bit longer. I'm Ashley White, the host of Joy on the Journey podcast, a weekly podcast all about defining, finding, and maintaining joy on the journey of life. This week, y'all, I got a special guest. One of my besties is here. This is Jessica Williams. She's from Durham, North Carolina, a graduate of Hampton University with a Bachelor's of Science degree in mathematics and a MS in biostatistics from the University of Texas Health Sciences Center. She's a wife and mom of two. But if you were to ask just about anyone who knows her, one of her key qualities, that would be she's a great friend. But I'm going to take a little special privilege before we get started on the podcast. I have told her this before, and because, well, this is my podcast, to tell her again publicly how much I appreciate her for being one of my best friends.
Aw, how sweet.
Jessica is the person that you call when you need anything done. Most of you know that this podcast came to be as a result of, as a result of losing my grandmother in August of 2022. One of the first people I called when I got the call that my grandmother's health was declining was Jessica. And she said, as she always does, "Oh no, friend, what do you need?" These are the friends that you want in your corner. That is who she is. Jessica is a rare breed. So, when the subject of friendship came up, I couldn't think of anyone else to ask. The qualities of being a good friend, because to me, she's a friend expert, and you will find out why. So before I completely fall apart, let's hop into the episode. Jess,
Hello.
thank you for being on the podcast.
Of course. You asked, of course I'm going to say yes.
See, told y'all. The podcast is all about defining, finding, and maintaining joy. So how would you define joy?
Okay. So, hey everybody. Hey friend.
Hey, friend.
This is how we start all of our conversations. I had to read about this, right? So I'm a learner.
Yes, she is.
So, and I'm a reader. So I was reading some stuff, and it's hard to find a word to define it, right? So in some stuff you may find like bliss or euphoria and all of that sort of thing. But and that I think is true. I think those are some of the words that would define it for sure. But to me, it's like an internal gladness or an internal satisfaction. So it might not make you smile. It might make you cry. It might make you calm down if something is kind of haywire. But it's like an internal thing: contentment, satisfaction, peace, happiness, I suppose. But I think it really, for me, it probably stems from thinking about it, right? So like if when you're little, you learn that this joy that I have the world and gives them that whole church thing. I'm churchy, so you might learn that. And so it's one of those things where I learned it wasn't happiness, because nobody could make, people can make you happy, make you sad type of deal, and people can't take your joy away. So it's definitely an internal, never ending. It's always there. It's always present.
Mm-hmm.
You just may have to tap into it or remember, think about some things to like feel it again, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So what do you do to tap into the joy?
So I have to get still,
Mm.
and I just have to think, because once again, I'm a thinker. So for me, if I think long enough about, okay, well, I know God's got me. I know this is going to be fine. I know it's going to work out. Even in those moments where it doesn't seem that way on the surface, I just have to think for a second, maybe sing a song. You know, I sing myself to get back to where I need to be. So, I think about that sort of stuff. I might think about my family, and it'll come back.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have some go-to songs that you are like?
Oh, yes. Well, right now it's a new church CD, right? So I'm listening to all things, because you know that's one of the things I
Yes.
say all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I say all things work together because they really do. And all you gotta do is think about it long enough, and that happens. So for me, it's gospel music. That is the stuff that I would listen to get me back there. And then, I guess if I think about some of the other ways that I might have to tap into, finding it again or remembering it, or to kind of lean into those moments, I just think about my family.
Mm.
I think about my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
I think about how even when she was confused, and she had dementia, y'all, when she was confused, even on those kind of last day before she died, when we were simply singing to her and she was trying to get up, that's joy. Like, there she is, sick, not feeling well, in pain, but it's an internal thing. And even for her, even when she was sick and the day before she died, she was trying to respond with joy by trying to sit up.
Yeah.
If you think about that, that's joy personified. Like, I just think about those things,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm good.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm good. Ooh, okay, go ahead. Now we sharing this. We sharing this.
We sharing a piece of tissue.
Thank you, friend.
That is something that we both share, is a love of our grandparents, and both our grandparents, our grandmothers and our grandfathers. I want to talk further about friendship.
Okay,
Um,
I'm good.
I consider you to be a friend whisperer. Jessica is often the voice of reason. Okay. I want to know, what is your oldest friendship?
Okay, outside of my house, right?
Yes.
Because, I have a brother.
Yes.
And so when you have a sibling.
So let's talk about that. Do you
Okay.
consider
My
brother
my
your friend?
My brother's my homie, for sure.
Aw.
He's, Chris is my friend for sure. Like, he's 9 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a rider. Now, granted, I may have been an insurance policy when he could drive. That the car was coming back, that he was coming back, because he wasn't just gonna leave off, right? Mom wasn't gonna, whatever. But yeah, we're friends for sure. He taught me how to do tons of stuff. Chris, he taught me music, gave me taste in music, all of that. But outside of him, it's different sorts of friends, right? You got your neighborhood friends,
Mm-hmm.
that the people that are there because of proximity, they live close to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up playing with them because they live on the street behind you or whatever. And, one of those people I'm still friends with now. I met her when I was 5 years old. And we're still friends. So yeah, I guess that would be my first kind of friend that I made out of proximity, I suppose. And then we just had lots of things in common. We enjoyed each other. Our moms leaned on each other. We've been friends for forever. And then I have friends who we kind of became friends because our moms and our grandmoms were friends. And so they ended up being friends that I probably don't even remember meeting, perhaps. And we're still friends too. Let's see. And then you have the friends that, I have friends that I met when I was in elementary school, perhaps in Girl Scouts or things of that nature, that I'm still talked to now, that are still my friends. So I guess I have friendships that span. How we're 40, so I have friendships that are probably 40 years old, for sure.
And you have moved.
Mm-hmm.
You are no longer still in North Carolina.
Yeah.
What would you say is essential to these friendships lasting both length
Mm-hmm.
and distance?
Okay. Well, for length, let's see. I mean, I think we have to be able to grow and adjust. I mean, we have friendships that have they've spanned, like I said, years and years and years, but we've given each other the room to grow up,
Mm-hmm.
the room to make mistakes, to know that things will be different. So as you go through different phases in life, you're not going to talk to people on the phone every day. You're not going to be able to, when you're younger, might not be able to play outside, or you may make those moves for across town or what have you, and you
Right.
have to be intentional about it. I think maybe that's the piece,
Mm-hmm.
to be intentional about it, and also to know that your friend means you well. So
That's good.
right, so like sometimes people get kind of in their feelings if, oh, I hadn't talked to her in weeks. Well, that's okay. I mean, people have a lot of stuff going on, and you learn that if you know that your friend has no ill intent
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't mean harm, then I think that it's helpful,
Mm.
right? So I have, some of my girls from college. We might not talk often or every day or anything like that, but they know I mean them well. They know I'm here for them if they need me, and the same goes for me. So it's not the expectations of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
talking every day or all that type of stuff. They aren't there,
Yeah.
and I think that helps, right?
Yeah, I think that's important to, I think that's most important, actually, the intent.
Yeah.
Because it does get lost in that, oh, I haven't talked to such and such. Well, she hasn't called me, so.
Yeah, my friends and I don't do that. We don't play that tit for tat. What are we doing this for? Like, you play that when you're playing table tennis. That's when you're going tit for tat, but not with your friends. You don't do that with your friends, right? Because ultimately, if you know me, then you know I mean nothing but, I want nothing but good for you, and I don't mean anything other than good for you. And the same goes for you, right? So it takes all of that away. It's nothing messy about it. It's nothing weird about it. I know you. You know me. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
You got me. We're good.
Yeah.
And when we talk, and I say this all the time, when I talk to my girls, the ones I talk to every day or the ones I don't talk to every day, it's like I talked to them yesterday. And that's beautiful, and I love it. It's like we picked up just where we left off, and it's great. I mean, I think that helps. And trying to stay in contact, trying to be intentional. If you can't pick up the phone, to give a quick text, I love you, how's it going, whatever, all of that helps. I have a friend who, one of my girls, we talk in the morning on the way to work sometimes, and it might be a quick 15-minute check-in once every couple weeks, once every week, or whatever the case may be, and that helps. That helps. So yeah, I think it's intentional, and knowing the other person's intent,
Right.
is the key.
And I think keeping it open to, if it is just that quick text.
Mm-hmm.
And technology has helped us so much
Yeah.
to, if it's just the text. And let me take that back. It's not just the text.
No, that counts.
Absolutely.
You're talking.
Absolutely.
I mean-
because I have some friendships where it's just a gift.
Mm-hmm. And that's it.
fine.
Yes.
I laugh. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
I appreciate it.
Exactly. When you see something on TV that thinks about you, I love movies. Actually, not so much, but I'm a movie. Sorry, friend. I love movies. So I have some friends who, if there's a movie that comes on, or a TV show, 90s black sitcoms come on, then hey, we'll send a message and we can talk. We can talk in movie tech, movie code, movie words, and TV shows, and that's great.
That's good. What do you consider are the key elements of a friendship?
Well, let's see. So I think being yourself, whoever that is, and being okay to be whoever that is around your people. Because I should be okay to be me, and you should be okay to be you, whatever that is, and the accepting of that. Not having to change about any, not having to change yourself for anybody. I think that's important. I think being honest is important. I mean, you don't need nobody out here lying. I think it's important to. I mean, that ain't no good. I think laughter is key. We
Absolutely.
laugh all the time.
Absolutely.
So I think that's important, right? Being able to laugh with your friends is important. Being able to keep their secrets, right? Keep their business. If it's between y'all, let it just be that. Being accepting of all their situations that's happening with them, right? So, and knowing, how shall I say this? Okay, so everybody's had those friends where they're in those relationships and you're looking like, ooh, girl. this might not be it, but what am I gonna do? You got to be okay with that. You have to be okay to know that it might not be what you would do, and you don't necessarily need to tell her that or tell him that, but being accepting of the fact that they may do things different from you, and that's okay. They're not you, so they're not gonna respond and react to the same situations the same way you would, and that's okay. So I think being accepting is key. Somebody who listens, right? So I think listening is a key part of friendship, and maybe being able to read the room, right? Yeah. So like, if your girl is having a rough day, so trying to figure out, hey, maybe this is the time for a joke. Maybe this is the time. Do you need me to come over there? Are you in distress? I'll be over there real quick. Being able to kind of read and figure out what's going on, which there again goes to knowing your friends and kind of knowing what makes them them, knowing the things that are going to impact them or hurt them, stuff like that. I think all of that is important. Taking the time to get to know them.
Yeah.
If you choose to, because everybody doesn't deserve that time.
Ooh.
It takes time to get to know people. Everybody can't get that. Time is limited, right? You only have so much. So you have to be very decisive about who gets to get my time. It's mine.
Yes.
And I share with people who I want to, right? And so everybody doesn't get it. And that's okay. And everybody doesn't get the time to get to know me. And I don't have to take the time to get to know them. But if someone invests in that time and I invest in that time, then we in it. Let's go. And you're good. But I think the investment of time is probably one of the biggest pieces.
Yeah, I agree. I think especially as adults, all of us as adults have so many competing priorities that making that investment of time is so critical. And when you find someone that you're like, okay, yes,
for
time. You want to be intentional and honest with what you can give.
Yep.
And not overcommit yourself to, okay, maybe I didn't. And if you have to pull back, being honest with why you're pulling back.
For sure. Yeah. And like you said, as adults, we have so much going on that you kind of have to be, what's the word I want to say here? Careful. Picky, as my grandma would say, choicey. About who gets to get that time. And some people might say as adults it's hard to make friends because you are so busy. And you might not have the time to commit to get to know somebody. You might not have that time to, be on the phone for hours. When we were in high school and middle school, I mean, you could talk. That's it. Time. You got plenty of it.
All of it.
All the time. You can sit up and laugh. Listen to Brandy and Monica, figure out.
That's it.
Write the words down, figure out who knows what and who's going to sing what. This is my part. This is your part.
Yes.
The boy is mine or the boy is yours. Like you go back and forth, and that's fine.
That song was perfect for that.
Exactly. I'm Monica. You're Brandy. Let's go. Right. You had all the time in the world to do that in middle school. You don't have that now, right? So, but in those moments, I mean, it's important to make it matter, to make those moments matter. So, which is why maybe you want to go to dinner instead. Well, at this point, I mean, y'all can go to the club, but maybe go to dinner.
My feet hurt. I can't.
And you know what?
I can't go to the club.
Right, and I can't hear. Right? And so that's another
We sound so old.
Listen, these are the things, once again, be honest with yourself, friend. Listen, When you're of a particular age, and when you have so many things competing of your time, I would much rather go to dinner,
yes,
happy hour, whatever, with my friends where I can hear and talk and catch up, because I don't see y'all every day.
Yes.
And so for me, that's intentional. That's purposeful. That would be wasted time going to the club where your feet hurt, you can't hear. I mean,
and we do not have club clothes.
Well, I don't. I don't, for sure. And probably don't have club feet either. I can't do it anymore. That's just not my thing. However, back in the day, and I mean, that sounds bad, but some time ago, that would have been quality time for me, but it's because you would have done stuff before and after. Now it was dinner, and that's it. So we got to make it count at dinner.
Make it count.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
I want to ask, what has your mother and grandmother modeled for you in terms of friendship?
Oh, my mom, my grandma, they had girls, okay? So my mom, boy, she has all of the friends. So this is popular, okay? So my mom is one of two, right? She has a brother, like me, and so is my grandma. My one grandma has sisters, but my mom had no sisters. I don't have sisters. So from my mom, she modeled that, your sisters don't have to be blood related to you. I have a trillion aunts. I have lots of people that I call aunt so-and-so, aunt this, aunt that. That's why my baby girl calls my good friends aunt so-and-so and aunt whatever. Because that's how it was. My mom, she has friends that she's had since, like, growing up as a child, since elementary school.
Wow.
They still talk. And when my grandma died, those ladies were there. They were calling. I mean, she has friends that she's had since then. And all of us kind of have friends we've picked up along the way, like going through life. It's not like I've never really been in a kind of like a clique type deal. I've picked up friends through experiences. I kind of find people, oh, I like this one. I'm going to invest in this one. I'm going to keep this one. And you kind of move on and build that way. My mom has done the same thing. So she has friends from elementary school, high school, college, sorority stuff, whatever, work friends, church friends, and they're there for each other. When stuff goes down, they lean on each other. When she was a single mom, she had other, single mom friends who they had each other's back. They jumped in, they helped. So her friends, they've kind of shown me the community. It was like they showed me that we're in this all together. We have each other's best interest at heart. And I saw them love her and love me and my brother, love us like we were theirs. My grandma it's the same thing. Even at, when she passed away, she was 94. But when she could still get around and get going, she had a friend that, they would leave church and they tell my mama, okay, we're going to Bojangles. Gladys and I are going to Bojangles. We'll bring her home after we go get us some chicken. She had friends that meant the world to her. She was very social. So, even when she was here, she'd want to hang out with your grandma. And we'd have to tell them, now listen,
there shall be no driving.
Y'all don't leave this place. Y'all stay put.
Stay here.
And both of them would be upset because they
Who
thought
are you to tell me what to do?
They were going to the mall.
My God.
They were out of here if it wouldn't have been for Ashley telling them that they couldn't go. Much to their dismay.
Much.
Okay. But she had friends up until the end, and she kept them. I mean, she was a single mom, so she had mom friends that looked after my mom and my uncle. She had nurse friends and church friends, and the longevity, she kept in touch with them. They would do stuff together. Even when she was married and in Maryland with Granddaddy Bill, they would go. They had like a walking group.
Wow.
They would now listen. This is great. They had a walking group. They would go to the mall to go walk. Then they would go to IHOP to eat pancakes. Listen, that doesn't matter. They were fellowshipping with their friends and having a good time.
Absolutely.
And they did this like every weekend. And so they did stuff. My grandma was in Eastern Star. She had a whole bunch of stuff. And she went to her events. She was in NCNW. Hey, grandma was kicking it. She was the queen of kicking it. She didn't miss a beat. And I mean, they taught me a bunch. But I think it's not even just them. My brother has had the same friends his whole life.
Wow.
His whole life. They're still good friends. A lot of his friends growing up, they're still good friends now. Like, my kids call them Uncle Moon and Uncle Vaughn. Like,
Wow.
yeah, Chris's friends come to pick the kids up. Even my aunts, I have an aunt, my Aunt Delma, who she and her twin and some more of their friends, they call themselves the Forever Five.
Mm.
They've been friends since they were kids. So it's all around me. My uncle too. My uncle's real social. He has people that come around him. I mean, it's just kind of like what I saw growing up. Everybody just had their crew because everyone knew that you can't really do this by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And friends are like those chosen family members, right? So my grandma and my mom, they certainly modeled it for me. But it was not just them. My uncle, my aunts. I mean, that's just what it has been growing up for us. Or growing up for me, what I saw. So, yeah, I have some wonderful examples from my family about how to maintain friendships and why it's so important.
Mm. So I wonder, and I didn't write this question down, but I wonder, when you were dating in that period of your life, 80,000 years ago.
Really? Ugh, I guess I'm an old married lady.
You are an old married lady.
Whatever.
Was it important to you that your spouse had friends?
Absolutely. I mean, I would have thought he was strange. I asked him. What do you mean? Not only was it important, I mean, it was a prerequisite that he have some friends. Yes, because how I'm supposed to be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I'm supposed to be your friend, how do you know how to be my friend if you don't have any? Like, I just think that's strange. I probably, no. I would have thought he was a weirdo. And I wasn't going to date a weirdo. So I asked him, like, hey, do you have friends? And he said, yeah, what you think, I'm a weirdo? And I said, I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure, bro. I don't want any problems. Because I think it's important that you can have some friends. Like, what is that? The same way that I think it's important that women have women friends. I know people don't like this. People say, oh, I don't have a whole bunch of women friends. Well, if I'm a woman and you're a woman, why can't we? I don't understand why you don't have any other women friends. That's a little strange. For him, I'm like, it's got to be somebody. It's not like you have to have a ton.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have a good solid 1, 2, somebody. Who can you call on? And you out here doing this by yourself? You can't laugh with nobody. Nobody cares. You know, nothing. But no, it was important. And he has friends. Now, granted, he's from a big family. Mm-hmm. So some of his first friends were his cousins, but they're still friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he has friends that aren't related to him, which, I mean, they had to kind of get in line behind a whole bunch of boy cousins. But absolutely, I personally think it's important for him to have friends. And now it's important for him to have friends too.
Yeah.
Because I have friends. So if I'm going with my friends, I don't need you looking at me crooked because you can't go with yours. Like, you know, you need to have somebody to talk to lean on, something, right? So, absolutely. Don't be a weirdo. Talk to somebody. What, is that wrong? I'm sorry. Was I not supposed to say that? Was I not supposed to say that? What? I can only be me, friend. I'm just saying. Get some friends.
This is just our conversation.
What?
Me laughing at her. This is just our conversation.
I'm saying.
Although most times we're just giggling on the phone.
It's true.
I want to also ask, Jessica has 2 children, a son and a daughter.
I do.
My girl is going to be 11. She'll probably be 11 by the time this comes out.
Oh.
Going to middle school.
Oh. That's a lot, y'all.
Forging new friendships in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
As she's making new friendships, she's picked up some of your habits where she is
picking people
she's
up.
A forger
Yeah.
of friendships.
Mm-hmm.
What do you hope that she's picking up from you as well?
Okay.
In addition to keeping some key people, what do you hope that she's looking for, qualities that she's looking for in friends as well?
I hope she looks for people who mean her well. Right? Because everybody doesn't. I want her to find the people who love her for just the way she is. Flaws and all, big, small, whatever, just the way she is, that aren't going to try to change her in a negative way. Because I want people that boost her up, that aren't trying to tear her down, that are supportive. I hope she sees that in my friendships, that, you know, we're supportive as much as we can be, that we love on each other, that we mean each other well. I hope she finds people that are, I mean, I know this sounds crazy, but I need her to find people that care about school. I know, you know, it's more than that, but when you're, you know, it's important to find. So if she wasn't going to middle school and high school, it would be more like ambitious friends. But since she's only, you know, 10, almost 11, let's just, you know, being ambitious is one thing. That might be too lofty for a middle schooler. So let's just take it back down to, I want her to be around people who care about school. As my grandma would say, get their lesson out.
Get your lesson.
Get your lesson. Because later on, that translates to caring about your career, caring about your life, that are on a great trajectory, because my girl is going places. Yes, I don't need anybody dragging her down.
Amen.
So I need people that are going to like boost her up. But I also don't want her having to be the only one that to push them all. I want it to be like an equal pushing. Because like, I don't want her, I mean, she's a smart kid, but I don't want her necessarily to be the smartest one out of them. You know, go tat for tat. Let the iron sharpen iron. Get you some smart friends, some ambitious friends, so that y'all can do great things together.
Yeah.
I don't want them hanging on to you because you the smart one. No. They want all of y'all be smart. Let's do that. I want her to get around some friends who, I mean, loving Jesus would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't want her to have, I mean, everybody might not love the Lord. It's important to me in my house, and, you know, that's what we do up in there. But I want them to care about something that's bigger than them. I mean, for her, I want her to have friends that are good, because, you know, middle school kids can be kind of rotten. And so they can be kind of terrible a little bit. So I would hope that she would get around people who are kind. Because all of them aren't. Like, I want her to be around people who are good people, because I'm trying my best, Lord knows, to raise her to be a kind, respectful, just good, well-rounded person. And it's a whole lot easier, and it will make my job a whole lot easier if she would surround herself with people who are like that too. So I think that would help. And I mean, just to be quite frank, I don't want her to be around the girls with the rah-rah. I need her...
Not the girls with the rah-rah.
I don't. Yeah, not that.
No. Oh, not...
I don't want that part. All y'all relax. I don't want the rah.
Simmer down.
Right.
Why are you so angry?
Not with the rah-rah. Find you some... Like, seriously. Yeah, can we not do that? Because, I mean, that's a lot, and that sticks with you. And unless you start kind of learning that kind of behavior, it's hard to pull it back. And I don't want that for her. I want her to be around girls who are confident, not cocky, but confident, that are okay and love themselves.
Amen. Because
it'll make it easier for her to continue to love herself. But if everybody around you is woe is me, then it's hard for you to be like, well, life is great for me, boo, if you're over here with the you know. What, are you not supposed to laugh? I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just saying. It would be helpful.
Absolutely.
I mean, it will make our jobs easier.
Absolutely.
If she could be around some people who are just pleasant. She's trying not to laugh. I'm not quite sure why. Is it a microphone thing? My bad.
No, you're great.
What?
You mentioned career.
Yes.
How do you feel about work friends?
I'm with it. I mean, I have no problem having work friends. I pick up work friends wherever I go. You know this.
Yes, you do.
I pick up work friends. I like them. Hey, are all y'all work friends? Because I've had different jobs.
Yes,
I have.
she has.
I have. I've moved around different places, And
I have all the emails.
I know,
to
and
show.
she thinks it's just so great. Hey, but the Lord be moving and guiding. I sure thank Him for favor. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen. So I definitely have work friends all over the place. So you have the work friends that are the people who you can vent with because they understand what's happening with you, happening with you from the day to day. I always get some of those. And you have the ones that are almost kind of like mentors, mentee type situations, which are great. I end up being friendly. Maybe they're not like my homies, but I talk to all of the people who I walk past at work, no matter what. So the people who are standing out there, the greeters, the people who sit at the front desk, I know all the admins, the people in the caf, the people who make your coffee. So I know them by their first names. You pass by them every day. Like they might not be my best buddies, but hey, when I was selling Girl Scout cookies, they bought them all up because they knew me. Yeah, I'm into work friends. I know some people don't like it because they want to turn it off, right? Is that the thing? Like when you leave work, I'm going to leave that at work and not talk about my personal life at work. I mean, you're there all day. Maybe it was a little different when it was COVID times and you weren't in the office all day. So maybe it might have been easier. And I guess for some people who were starting their jobs, they probably might not have made work friends the same way we did before we were in the office because you weren't going to lunch with anybody. But, I mean, you're there. When you do go to the office, you're there all day long. It would be awfully lonely if all you're talking about is work stuff all day long and you never get to do anything else. You don't have anybody to go to coffee with. I mean, I think that's just, no, I think that's kind of sad. I mean, but I get it. Everybody at work isn't your friend. But there are some people who you can certainly forge a relationship with that could be beneficial to both of you.
Absolutely.
You can help them, they could help you. I mean, I think that's a good thing to do. And not just like a networking thing, because I think that's important, right? You got to like do the schmoozing, but like a good work friend, oh yeah, I'm into it. They help you out. They'll tell you, I mean, if a job comes up, they'll be like, I know somebody. Her name's Jessica. She's great. Who did that? A work friend. Thank you. Shout out work friend. You know who you are. Hello. Like it's helpful.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. It's good to know people and to be liked, but to be likable.
For sure.
To be pleasant. And these are all characteristics that describe you.
Oh, nice.
You show up. And then you also show out. When you show up, she is always willing to serve and to give her best whenever she can. So much so that oftentimes you have to remind her, no, friend, no.
I know.
You do not have the time to, no, friend, no.
It's a thing, for sure. Because I feel like if there's someone who, if I can help, and I have the time, that's the part that I don't quite have a lot of anymore. But if I have the time and the skill, like if I know how to do something and I see there's a missing space there, then I'm going to try to hop in and help. If my friend needs me, then, I mean, then we're going to do it. That's just what it is. Like, we're out. We're doing it. Let's just go. Yeah, and I think you show up for people. And at work, I think it's just, people tend to like working with me because I'm that person at the beginning of the meeting. Hey, how are you doing? How's your fam? Everybody okay? And to kind of set the stage. And then we talk about work. And at the end is, what are you doing for the weekend? Everything okay? All right, well, you have a good rest of your day. What you eating for lunch? Like, I think it helps. Everyone's so on edge oftentimes. I think kind of having that friendly rapport, because that's me. That's just how I roll. But it's proven, it's served me well. I will say that it's helped me out. I guess just being pleasant, it comes back, and I won't even think about the fact that I've done anything special because it's just me. But it always comes to be helpful. It proves helpful at the end, for sure.
Absolutely. That is your gift.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, thank you, gift. I receive it. Hello.
So the very final segment of the podcast is your journey ahead. So Jess, as you seek the Lord for the next phase of your joy journey, would you dare share your hope for your family, for yourself, in terms of your friendships?
Okay.
For where you see yourself and your friendships over the next 5 years.
for my friends that I've already made and have established, I mean, I hope they continue to blossom and deepen, right? Because I think there's always more.
Mm-hmm.
As stuff changes, as you go through more things, more stuff happens. I mean, this time last year, we wouldn't have had a shared experience of losing our grandmothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's made things deepen
Mm-hmm.
and or blossom, whichever way you want to go with our friendship.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that's going to happen naturally. We couldn't have stopped it if we wanted it to.
Yeah.
And so I know those things will continue to happen because life be lifing.
Yeah.
And so I hope that in all of that, that my friendships are able to thrive and to deepen, and that I'm able to be there for them and to receive help from them when I need it,
Mm-hmm.
even when I might not think I do, or I might not be as receptive to it, but your friends know when you need help, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that I'm able to be there for my friends, give help when needed, and get that from them. And then I already know I'm not on that no new friends deal because I know some people do that when we get to a certain age. But I'm sure there's more ahead, right? I'm sure as my, life continues to move on, things change. The kids get into different things.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be other friendships that come of that. And so I'm hoping with those kind of new friendships or newer friendships that have been created now or that will be created as we move on, that they're good ones,
Mm-hmm.
that they're productive, that they're useful, that I can tell the purpose behind them, right? Because at this point, if you have to ask why are you friends with them, so so I mean, I hope that they're purposeful. So I think that's what I would hope for my friendships now. To people that maybe I haven't connected with as much. Hopefully we'll have even more intentional connection in the future. And that once again that they always know that, they're my thoughts and prayers, that I mean them well, that I wish them well, that all that's great. And for my family, I mean, I hope that, it's one of the things that I pray for every day is that I thank the kids. We thank the Lord that our home is full with love and that we are friends. Like right now, I'm in mama mode.
Yes.
So I can't necessarily be your bestie right now for the two little people. But I always hope and pray that they find friendship in each other.
Mm-hmm.
And, as the kids get older, they'll be besties. Like, that we're good friends. Like I'm with my mom. I talk to her every day. That's my girl. Like she's definitely a bestie for sure. So I pray that happens. And the same thing with Glenn, like we're friends. He's my husband for sure. But that's my homie. Like we're buddies. And so I hope that continues to grow as our marriage moves on into 5 years, Lord. It would be almost 20 years at that point. We're getting close. Woo, that sounds like a long time. So I hope that happens. And right, is that the right math? We're on what, 13 and a half now. Woo, Lord. So
yeah.
we'll be nearing that. Yeah, so I'm hoping that all of those friendships will continue to grow and develop and blossom, and that they'll be what's needed at the moment.
Oh, that's good.
That they meet the moment. Some friendships, you might not have them. They might not be those forever friends, They might be for a moment in time or for a specific purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But they're meeting a need. They're meeting the moment and being okay with those moments, even if they pass or whatever. But for my soul friends, that's what I call my girls who are those people. It's almost like a soulmate.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like friendships are like that too for some people.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of your girls, not all of your friends are your soul friends, but I have some who most certainly, like, we're connected. And I hope that those connections they continue to just strengthen, and that they continue to meet the need and fill the space that they're intended to fill.
Absolutely. Oh, that was beautiful, Jessica.
Sure, thanks.
Y'all, my heart is full My heart is full. Thank you so much.
Sure, of course.
Thank you. Thank you. So, if somebody wanted to reach out and get any advice about friendship, how would you tell them to reach you? Now, this is gonna be interesting.
Tell Ashley, and then she'll tell me. Because you know I don't know what all the Instagram things and tweets and
I thought so.
And I don't. So this is a setup, everybody. She knew that.
I did.
She knew this. I don't have like all of that stuff, y'all.
She doesn't.
I mean, I guess they could send me a thing on Facebook because this is where they're gonna go to. No, I'm not doing this for her. See, this is what happens. So if they have questions about friendship, they can ask you because we're friends, and y'all, she knows the answer to these questions. But she also could get me the question. See, she set me up.
Y'all, if y'all knew how long it took her to write a Facebook post, ooh-wee.
And that's why I don't do it, because I'm thoughtful about my words. See, that matters. Hey, but in my Facebook thing, everything's going to be spelled correctly. The punctuations will be in place the right way, you know.
You just may not get your birthday message until the next day.
It might be nighttime, but hey, you got it. And by that point, I've already talked to you and text you. I was just doing this.
We're going to wrap up the episode.
I'm just saying.
Be sure to comment your favorite takeaway from this episode. And welcome to our friendship.
This is it.
We met, oh my God, so many years ago. We'll have to have y'all back to the inside. There are a crew of us who are besties. And you'll get a chance to meet each and every one of them on the podcast. But please like, share, and comment your favorite takeaway on this friendship episode. And it is my sincere hope that your friendships deepen over this next month, over this next year, as you are intentional on your journey with your friendships. And so until we gather again every single Thursday, come on back. May God increase your joy, give you strength for the journey, and give you the courage to tell your story. Bye, friends.